Hello, guys. How are we doing? Welcome back to the 3M's podcast. Creeping up on that 100th episode. Good to see a few of you with us already. How's it going, Luke?
Really good, mate. Really good. A few days we've calmed down. Before we start, I'm just going to put this comment up. So, whilst we were waiting to go live, Trevor's put this comment up. Your video from August 26, 2017, away at Newcastle, has just flashed up on my list. Listen to it, blah, 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 blah. More or less the same. So, I'm going to play this clip and we'll have a little discussion about it. Okay. Where do I start with that one, guys? Where do I start? I haven't got the energy to do a review for this game. I've checklist for a West Ham loss at the moment. Individual error, starting lineup, tactical changes. Players not knowing what they're doing. Slav looking like a lost man on the touchline. Conceding goals against teams that haven't scored a goal in months. Any familiar? It's the West Ham game at the moment, isn't it? I don't know where to start. Just a couple more seconds. Social media is a real business thing, guys. But today, I agree with a lot of what's out there today in terms of the negative stuff. Time for Slav to go for me. There we go. You can jump on me. Does that sound a bit déjà vu?
Right, so that was 2017, right? Just over 2 years ago. How many times in the last, not just last 2 years, in the last 4 years, 6 years, 8 years, it's a pattern. It's a pattern.
It is.
The last what? So we had the same thing with Slav. We had the same. Well, Moyes was quite controversial, but he came in to sort of keep us up. You had the same thing with Sam. You had the same thing going
Roda,
back and back.
Zola.
Yeah, is anything ever going to change?
I really don't think so, mate. Starting to believe that, no, it's just that is what we are as a club. I don't think we can achieve any higher. I really, I've started to believe, every other club. Everton's had that opportunity where even they sort of, they qualified for the Champions League. They didn't necessarily make it the group stage. I remember they lost both rounds. Leicester have won the league, and they're continuing to do brilliant stuff this year. Tottenham have had their little spell. Chelsea have done their bits. Just we seem to invest. We seem to get managers in that we can, and just nothing happens.
That's the thing, though, mate. When you say we invest, we don't. That's the problem. And I think this cycle's been going on. We know how it works with Sullivan. What he does, he spends big in the first window when he appoints a new manager, and then nothing. He pulls the spending back. Yeah, we spent I don't know, what did we spend this summer? 45 million on Allaire, 25 million on
million on a Jetty.
Yeah,
a mil on Roberto.
But if you look at the actual net spend, our net spend wasn't high.
And wages.
That's the big thing, mate. There's more of a correlation on league position on wages than there is transfer spend. And our spend on wages is basically where we are in the league. And if you look, I've never been a person who says, oh, you have to go out and spend loads and loads of money on someone. Just because someone's cheap doesn't mean they're not good enough. But if you look at the likes of our back line at the minute, Roberto cost nothing. We had Cresswell, what cost nothing. Fredericks cost nothing. Zabaleta cost nothing. Ogbonna, what did we pay for him? 4 million.
Something like that, 8 million, maybe.
Yeah, Balbuena about 4 million. The only player in that defence that we've spent any money on, Rice, 3. The only player in that defence we've spent any money on at all is Diop.
20 mil, yeah.
And then we wonder why we're so poor defensively. It's there is a correlation there. There is. So I think it's the problem is, no matter what manager we've had, we come up with the same problems, and then you have to start saying, is it the manager? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. It's very, very, very pressing at the minute. So my next banner, before we talk about it, so the board has back to Pellegrini. Have you seen Jason Cundy's comments on TalkSport at all?
No.
You've not seen that? So I'll briefly go into it. So he says that the Pellegrini appointment is a lazy one at the time from the West Ham board. He says, no, they've just looked. He's won the league. And this guy's in China, basically semi-retirement zone. He's lost his hunger and stuff like that. And it was a lazy appointment from West Ham. And they should have been looking at an Eddie Howe, a Brendan Rodgers. What do you think of that before we talk about the ball in Pellegrini? Is there some truth in that?
It's easy to say in hindsight, in retrospect, possibly, but you can't tell me at the time when we announced that we were getting Manuel Pellegrini as manager, you was buzzing. I think we were all excited about what he could bring. Successful manager, not just at big clubs, did it at smaller clubs as well, like some Malaga. So it's easy to look back and say that, but at the time, I don't think it's fair to say now, oh, it was a lazy appointment. I don't think that's fair, because at the time, I think that not everybody, but I think the majority of fans thought it was a good appointment. Me included. I was absolutely buzzing. I've really, really, really been behind Pellegrini. I've backed him a lot, but this season he's started to lose me. So I don't know.
And it is tactical stuff. Really is. Like, there was a question I see on Twitter. It was posted the Stan Wade podcast, but it did inspire me a little bit. Who is to blame here? The players, the board, or Pellegrini? It's sort of a mixture of all three, really.
Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is. The board haven't backed him. We don't know what goes on behind closed doors, but don't tell me that they've gone to Pellegrini and said, oh, by the way, we're going to sell all of the strikers. You can sign Allaire, and then you can sign one more backup, and that's it. I don't believe that. Don't tell me that. Pellegrini said in the press when there were rumours that Obiang was going to be leaving, they asked Pellegrini about it. Pellegrini in interviews come out and said, we don't want to lose him, but if Obiang goes, it's fine. We'll replace him. We never replaced him. So it sounds to me like kind of broken promises there. 100% though, the players have to take responsibility. The players have been terrible. Whether that's they're obviously lacking in confidence. But talking about tactics, talking about the games, are they not understanding his instructions? Are they just ignoring his instructions?
Whoever's doing the scouting as well, whoever's doing the scouting of the other teams, that there's got to be some question marks. Whoever that is, I doubt that's Pellegrini to a certain extent. I reckon that's something, the first team coaches and even then, as the manager, you've got to take buck stops with you. You've got to take some sort of responsibility in terms of the way your side sets up.
Yeah, but I mean, come on, like you're talking about scouting other teams, mate. Literally,
we can scout them. We can scout them. And we're not professional manager.
Every West Ham fan to a man, when they looked at that lineup at the weekend, looked at Zabaleta against St. Maximin and was like, I don't know nothing about St. Maximin. I know he's fast.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, every West Ham fan looked at that and was like, what are we doing? The amount of comments I saw when that lineup was announced about West Ham are literally trying to field the slowest team in Premier League history. It's madness. You don't need to scout the opposition to know that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't buy that as an excuse. So yeah, for me, 100%, everybody's at fault. Everyone's at fault. As far as I just want to say about, again, talking about cycles, Bald backs Pella. So they've come out and they've said, well, they haven't come out, I don't think, but
it was I'm going on what I've read, Claret and Hugh.
Yeah, so Claret and Hugh, sources close to the club have come out and said there's no chance of him being sacked. They're backing him all the way. Mate, we heard this with, again, the last four managers. They say that every time, and then they start undermining him. Then you start seeing polls appear on these connected websites about, oh, should he be sacked? Do you still back him? Oh, would you like to get in? that comes from the club. Don't tell me it don't.
Of course it does. Of course it does.
And it's the same thing we've seen over and over and over again. Now, do I think Pellegrini should go?
Not yet. Not yet.
Not yet, but he needs to turn it around bloody quick.
Not yet. Not yet. I would give him potentially 3 more games. I'd potentially give him 3 more games. So then it's 10. I think as a manager, I know it's a terrible thing to say, but you should be allowed to get to maybe 10 without a win. And then I think 10 without a win is untenable.
I mean, that's frightening as well. Again, in one of the quotes that I saw that was apparently from the club that said, what did it say? It was something like he won't be. They intend to honour his contract regardless, right? They intend to honour his contract regardless. What if we lose the next 15 games?
Yeah, and again, mate. I'm sure you work in an industry where you have to get results to a certain extent. If you, for example, didn't sell nothing for 2-3 weeks, your manager's going to be going to you, yeah, Paul, mate, you need to butt your ideas up. We ain't going to go, hey, do you know what? We're going to keep you for 2 years. Even if you don't sell nothing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
100%,
what inspiration and what motivation does that give to Pellegrini? You need to... I think I remember Dave Sullivan saying something before a Birmingham game before. It was like, well, they need to win. To win. Like, you need that sort of a little bit of pressure on him. You need to keep him on his toes a bit, not just.
And then
I think it's wrong that a manager gets paid out anyway. I think it's completely wrong that a manager gets paid out. Surely there should be something written in these contracts that if you do not win within 10 games, we have a right to renegotiate your contract and discuss the results industry. There's no other job where you get paid all of your remaining contract. It just doesn't exist.
No, 100%, mate. 100%. And that's the thing as well, where you're talking about motivation, you're talking about him needing that threat possibly above him. But again, Pellegrini, he's not a young man. He's earned enough money in his career. He's won everything. Does he really care? Does he really care?
If I was on £8 million a year, I had no affiliation to West Ham, and I know that if I got sacked, I would get all my money. I could go straight back to China, or I could go to Elmies. I could go manage in Chile if I was him. Go back home.
Would you care?
It doesn't really matter either way. And at the end of the day, as well, football. It's not life. It's not be all and end all. He hasn't got to worry about paying his mortgage. He hasn't got to worry about his kids not having inheritance. I'm not trying to tarnish the man. I'm thinking of what man's aspirations are.
What motivation does he have, basically? So yeah, I don't know. It's a difficult one.
It was a good call for a manager. Again, maybe too early for him. The guy, I believe, please correct me if I'm wrong. It's either Brentford or someone like that, Brentford or Luton, and they're West Ham fans, the Cowley brothers.
Two brothers, yeah.
Yeah. It's something I would definitely look at. Not yet. Definitely in the future.
I mean, if you're looking at up and coming managers,
he's going to be passionate, dynamic, massive West Ham fan. He's young, point to prove. Listen, maybe.
I've seen a couple of shouts, mate. Obviously Scott Parker into management now.
If he gets Fulham up, maybe again. I love Scotty. I loved him.
Lee Bowyer, again, another potential future. I've seen a lot of divisions about Bowyer because a lot of people don't like him. I know, he'd done a few scummy things in his past, but again, West Ham through and through.
I did see a poll on Twitter with Paolo again. It's never going to happen. Listen, I love Paolo Di Canio, but that is never, ever going to happen. Never.
No, I would love to see it. What's he even doing these days? Is he doing anything?
Sky Sports pundit in Italy, I think now.
So I would give anything to see. I would love to see Paolo back at West Ham. Who wouldn't? But no, as a manager, it'd be an absolute disaster.
Definitely. Okay. So a rumor of someone that may be getting sacked now. Again, it's just a rumour. He is this man. I think I've spoke that right.
I don't think you know.
It's somewhere there.
It's Husilios, isn't it? Husilios?
Husilios, yeah.
I think so, yeah.
I do
really, that actually surprises me.
Yeah.
That surprises me a lot.
Okay, so these rumours came again sort of from Clarence and Hugh, and I watched a really, really good video from Gonzo. Please go and check that out. He says that the board in general are a bit concerned with Helios in terms of Jetty signing, Fornal signing, and trusting him with the money now. And again, that you start getting that fear again. Then are they gonna
see? The thing is I think that's I don't agree with that, because his job is to find these players, right? But then surely it's Pellegrini's say in who he actually goes for. So if it's up to Husilios to say, right, this is a list of players that I think we should sign, there you go, Pellegrini. And then Pellegrini picks the ones out. Genuinely, who, since they've both come into the club, who has Husilios signed that's been a bad signing?
I'm not saying they've been bad signings, but they're saying that this is the rumour that Fornals is not impressed, and he is apparently a signing. If you consider 25 million big money now,
so I get it.
About average player now, no, 25 million.
At the end of the day, he's what, 22, 23 Fornals. He's young. He had a fantastic international tournament. A lot of people were saying he's a real deal. He's exciting. So I don't think you can call him a failure yet. He hasn't had a chance. When he's played, he's been played out of position. And he's a young player coming into a new league. You can't write him off after
I think he's
10 games, you know what I mean?
I think he's wrongly positioned as well in terms of he's not an attacking midfielder.
No.
I think he is purely, like what you made the point the other day, he is a centre midfielder.
Yeah.
He is not attacking. He's not defensive. He's that Mark Noble style, that sort of Obiang style. You wouldn't say Obiang's defensive. You wouldn't say he's attacking. He takes pressure off Rice in terms of the movement of the ball.
Yeah, 100%. And he needs to be given time. Now, I don't think he's a bad signing in the fact, well, that's not necessarily true, right? I don't think he's a bad player. I think he's a very good player. He's got a lot of potential. If Pellegrini knew, right, okay, you've got 25 million to spend on a midfielder, then yes, he was the wrong midfielder. If Pellegrini thought, right, I can buy this guy for 25 million and then I can get somebody else, that's fine. But yeah, I think he's a good, promising player. I think we did need something different. You know, we've got a lot of players who can play that position. We've obviously got Fornals, we've got Noble, we've got Snodgrass can play in that centre position. We've got Lanzini who can play in that centre position. We've got Wilshere. We've got a lot of players in that position. So no, I don't think we actually needed him. We needed a more dynamic, sort of powerful midfielder.
Power, yeah. So I suppose we need a Chiatti, but a better one. Yeah. You know, like these Decores, Didis, Giscay. You need destroyers, like absolute animals in midfield. That is what we're missing. We haven't got nothing like that. And again, that would take pressure off Rice.
100%. And a player we've been linked with the last few windows keeps cropping up, that Yannick Kessie for Milan.
That's the exact sort of player we need.
That's exactly the sort of player we need. And I don't know, you know, he's only young as well. He's only like 22. So I don't know why we didn't go for someone like that. Like I say, if Pellegrini was told, all right, you can go for a couple, I get it. But yeah, I suppose again, how much of that is down to Husilios though? If all he's doing is identifying these players, I don't know. I don't see how you can blame him for it if he's just identifying them.
I know he got injured the weekend, Gomez, but you think we should have, I know he wouldn't have come because he wanted to go to Everton. You think we should have gone a little bit more out for him?
It's difficult, mate. I can't say I've watched Everton this season really, apart from when they played
us. He's injured now. Obviously, he's injured now. Horrific through the weekend. But
I've seen a few people saying, and a few Everton fans saying, that the game against us was the only game he's looked decent all season. So it's hard to say. You know, you can't judge a player on a game against us, especially when we're crap at the minute. So I don't know. But 100%, he's the type of player that we needed. Someone who's going to be gritty and get in and do the dirty work.
Ping as well. Again, another player, mate. Again, absolutely destroyed by David Sullivan a few years ago. Joe Shelvey, mate. Listen, this guy can ping a ball. He's English and he's a West Ham fan. Placement for Noble. No? Do you know what I mean? It's just not going to be outstanding. He would do a job in that West Ham shirt and he would give his all.
Yeah,
I believe
100%. I would be more. I wouldn't say I'd love to see
not
Shelby at West Ham, but yeah, I'd be very happy to see him. Yeah, it'd be a good player for the squad, and for the team.
Okay, another video I see from Gonzo, interesting. So the 40 million loan, obviously you must know some sort of this. So see, Gold and Sullivan were due to take 40 million at the club in a couple of months' time. Regards to money they would themselves or something like that. And so what Gonzo's argument is, and I think he's got a fair point actually, is Pellegrini's putting pressure on them now in terms of this £40 million loan, because if we're not doing well in January, really, they've got to invest some money. And if they took that 40 million out, what would the fan reaction be?
This is a touchy subject anyway, because their shareholder loans they take interest on, and as far as I'm aware, that's not something other clubs' owners do. They don't take interest payments out on their loans. And I know they made loads of excuses before that were nonsense, saying, "Oh, we have to. It's the law. We have to take something out, and we put it at this certain interest rate and all the rest of it," which is rubbish. If you remember, do you remember? Was it? I don't think it was this summer. It was the summer before. The American guy invested into West Ham. He put capital into the club. He put a loan into the club, and he takes no interest. He takes nothing back. I don't see why Gold and Sullivan need to be taking any money out of the club. I really don't. When they sell us, they're basically the money they've taken out in interest payments already. Any money they've put in, they've already got back through those interest payments. Any money they've put in since they've owned us, they've got back. They've never put any of their own money into the club. They've never actually said, right, there you go, that's for the club. Not a loan, not nothing else, just injected capital into the club. They've never done that. And when they sell us, they're going to make hundreds of millions profit. So I don't see why they should be taking any money out of the club at all.
No, I agree. It's just something I want to touch on because it's a really good video. Okay, a little rumour that was in the paper today. Lanzini, £50 million at Juventus. No, he's your favourite player, mate, but I would take 50 million. I would. Injury prone.
Yeah. What the frustrating?
Very good player. Don't think I'm sitting here saying he's a bad player. Anyone who's watching, I'm a big fan. 50 million.
I think he's not being. Take it. I think he's not being used right. I think when he is being used right, when he's playing in his proper position, he's our best player. Yeah, I suppose, and he is. He's my favourite player at West Ham. I think he's our most talented player. But yeah, if they did come in and throw 50 million on the table, coming back off of that injury, you'd have to take it. I don't know. It's weird. I don't really see where he fits in for Juve. Possibly,
but if Dybala goes,
yeah, that's the only thing I was going to say is a replacement for Dybala,
who's linked heavily to Tottenham.
I don't think it'll happen. I don't think Juve will come in and throw 50 million on the table for him. I don't think anyone would pay 50 million for Lanzini at this moment in time. Because realistically, like I say, coming back off that injury and his form since, he's not worth 50 million at the minute. So I don't know. I can't see it happening, but it's interesting that these rumours are starting up again. You wonder how many of the players are getting a bit fed up at the minute, and they've started having words in their agents' ears, giving a sort of come and get me. Do you know what I mean?
I agree. Okay, so another rumour that's sort of there's some really news out there today. It's a really good time to make a show. So Giroud rumours in their head again. There was a rumour also about Hudson-Odoi on loan as well. That was another rumour. That would be a good one. Giroud, yes, no? Yes for me.
Yes,
it's very similar to what we've got.
Yeah, that's the only thing. He's very similar to what we've got. If he was happy enough to come in and sit on the bench and play off the bench, it'd be a fantastic signing.
You know what it'll be? We'll sign him. We won't put costs in anymore. We won't put. It'll be. Oh, we're going to play on the floor now.
Yeah, yeah. I think he would have been a brilliant signing. A year ago, Giroud. Yeah, like I say, if he'd be happy enough to come in and sit on the bench and play off the bench 100%, it'd be a fantastic signing.
I think he'll be a good signing for Haller as well, where they're both French. I think it'd be a good signing for him. Like, I've got another French boy here with me, French international as well. I can learn a bit off him as well. Maybe that will help me get into the France team, because good signing if we pull that off. Brilliant news. Into first team training at the end of the week. The early game just comes a bit quickly for him. Maybe a banker to score the winning goal at Tottenham again.
It'd be nice to see, mate. I'd love to see it.
He's got a fantastic record against them.
Yeah. Yeah, no, fantastic news. He's back in training. Can't wait to see him back. We've massively, massively missed him. And I'm someone that's really laid into Antonio.
Oh, yeah, so have I, mate. Very critical, both of us.
But we have massively, massively missed him. It's such a shame. This season, he really looked like he was getting back to his best. And he was...
a bowling season.
Yeah, 100%. He really looked like he was bang on form and really getting back to his best. And then...
fit, looked like he lost weight.
Yeah. So it'd be interesting to see what he's like when he comes back. I think the type of player that he is, he's always going to pick up injuries. Yeah. But yeah, we really, really missed him. Can't wait to see him back.
Definitely. Okay, on the 25-minute mark, it's a good time to go into the Burnley preview. Okay, so they sit just below us on 14th. They've played 11, won 3, won 3, and lost 9. Their top goal scorers, familiar names to West Ham fans, I'm sure. Barnes and Woods love scoring against us, these two. They really, really do. Last time out, they played Sheffield United, and we drew 1-1. They lost 3-0. So they're in a bit of a mess at the minute. Only last season, we lost 2-0 away. And, look at that name there. Woods. And we beat them 4-2 at the London Stadium, and 2 scored their goal. So, it's going to be another tough game. I'm sure they're going to be physical. Going to be, again, it's back to that point you made, mate, about Ogbonna's the only person who can header. If he is not playing, Chris Woods, Ashley Barnes are going to have an absolute field day.
Yeah, 100%, mate. 100%. Ogbonna has to come back in. He has to come back in. And yeah, I'm not looking forward to this one. I'm not.
I think they'll be physical again.
Yeah. As soon as they'll be physical, they'll be in our face, they'll be up for it. And I just don't think our team at the minute can stand up to that. I just don't. I can see us just collapsing again. We'll probably be 2-0 down, and then we'll wake up and start trying to play. 100%, 100%. Banker, Chris Woods is going to score 100%.
Barnes as well.
So I'm not looking forward to this game, mate. I'm really not. Again, we've been saying it for weeks. It's a game on paper we should be looking at saying, yep, 3 points there. But the way, like you say, mate, it's going to be physical. They're going to get into us. And our boys just don't like it. They don't like it.
No, they don't like it. They don't like high press. They don't like a little elbow here and there, a little push in the back. The big physical strikers. Like, I can just see, my prediction is, Aussies are coming in all over the place, really testing Roberto out. No man's land goal again. Yeah, I can see us maybe losing, 2-3s.
I said it a second ago, mate. Honestly, I could see us being 2-0 down, and then all of a sudden going, oh, we're losing this. We best start running around a bit.
Yeah,
we best start running around again. I'm normally massively optimistic. If you watch this channel, I always predict good results for us. I'm always optimistic, but
yeah, you've changed, mate.
I've changed. I just can't see I know, please be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Please. I hope I'm wrong. But I can't see anything but a loss from this game.
No, I can't. I really, really can't. And what will really frustrate me is, again, I touched on it the other day, we go and beat Tottenham, and it's like, I'm not slagging off our West Ham fans here, because we both will be the same. We'll beat Tottenham like, we're the best team in the world. It just papers over the cracks. Listen, we can't keep as good as it is and as brilliant as it is to see those Tottenham faces. We can't keep our season being beat Tottenham twice this year. It can't keep being that. It can't. As good as it feels, it can't keep being that's the be all and end all of it. No.
100%, mate. We need to take results like that if we get them, and we need to build on them. And that's something we just never do. Yep. We never seem to build on the wins. We never seem to pick up any momentum
and take that chance. It's sixth, third, fourth.
Yeah. It genuinely hasn't been since that last season at the Boleyn. I didn't fear anybody. I thought we could beat anyone. That last season.
The only other time I remember feeling like that was the year we got into the FA Cup final. I think we held the record that year, coming from behind 1-0 and winning every time. It's the only other year that was sort of that close, and obviously Barlow's year when he scored the one.
Yeah. So we never seem to have that momentum. We never have that consistency. That's West Ham, isn't it? We're consistently inconsistent.
Good question there. That ties in with the Burnley preview. Does Martin start in goal this weekend because Roberto is terrible at crosses? We just sort of said that, didn't I? Would you give him a go?
I was going to say, let's be realistic. Martin is crap.
Don't know that though.
Is he any worse? I know he is. He is. I think he was bought. He was never intended to play. I don't think he was ever intended to get anywhere near the first team. Bought in for his name and his name alone. No, I 100% would not start Martin in the Premier League. No, I wouldn't. No.
Any other questions in the chat, guys? We will touch on them at the end, okay? Because there's quite a lot to talk about this week. A really good question that I see on Twitter. So it's back to the Pellegrini thing a little bit. It says, should we be more worried that Pellegrini has admitted he doesn't know why we are playing so badly? Can he not see the lack of effort or ideas? Should he not be able to see his game plan and the team selection causes the real shocking displays? Yeah, so anyone who didn't catch his press conference or sort of press match thing, he basically said he doesn't know why we're playing this bad. He doesn't know. It's your fault, mate. No?
Yeah, if that's genuine, if he genuinely doesn't know, and the team selection leads me to believe that he really don't. That's very, very worrying. Very, very worrying. If thousands and thousands of West Ham fans can see it, why can't a manager paid $8 million a year? Yeah, it's very worrying. Is he too stubborn? Is he too set in his ways? Is he? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why we played that bad, because we played with no intensity. We played with no pace. We played sideways and backwards. No one was making any runs. We were too static. Our defence was poor. The selection was wrong. He could go out and ask any West Ham fan. They'll tell him why we're playing so bad. If he really don't know, we'll tell him. So, yeah, it could be he's just trying to protect his players. I don't know. If he genuinely doesn't know why we're playing so bad, then we might as well sack him tomorrow. Because if he don't know, how's he going to fix it?
And that sounds very Slav-like of you. Like Slav towards the end where he just looked like a broken man.
Yeah.
That sort of press conference, them sort of answers that, was the final bit for him, really. Okay. So, review our season finish prediction. So, I believe me and you sort of predicted, I predicted 8th, I think. 7th, 8th, I think I predicted. I can't remember what you predicted at the time.
Yeah, I think I was about the same. I think I predicted, and I genuinely believed after the first few games that we could, and the way that the league was panning out, that we could challenge for top 6. Do you know what the crazy thing is, though? if we actually manage to turn around and put in a good set of results, if we got 3 wins on the bounce,
you're
we'd be right back up
again.
there again. So, I don't get me wrong, I can't see that happening now. But
so this is your chance. We'll have a few chances to do this throughout the season. Where do you predict we'll finish now? I'm going to say 12th.
It depends on how we play.
Lose 3 in a row, we could be in the bottom 3, and then
I'll be saying 18th. Who knows? If Antonio comes back firing, if Fabianski comes back in a reasonable amount of time, you're talking solid mid-table.
Is that good enough? Is 10th good enough? No, it's easy in hindsight now. You would bite your hand off for 10th now. At the start of the season, is 10th good enough?
So it depends, again, how you judge him. I would say no. For me personally, no, considering the team that we've got and the way the league's panned out and how we started, 10th would be very disappointing. Like you say, mate, bite your hand off for it now. I think we're more likely to be around 14th than we are 10th at the moment. It's very difficult to predict because the league is ridiculously close this year. Take the top 2 out of it. The league is insanely close. It really is. A few wins and you're up there, a few losses and you're being dragged down. It's really difficult to predict. It really is, and that's what I mean. If he doesn't turn it around, make no doubt about it, we're in a relegation battle. If he does,
is he the sort of manager that can fight a relegation battle? Is he tactically astute enough? Like, as much as we slag him off, Sam Allardyce,
no,
get us out of it.
No, of course he's not. He's already shown his stubbornness and he's willing to play one way even when it's not working. If we get dragged into it and he stays, we're going down. I think I don't think he's the right manager for it. I don't think at the moment the players ain't either. If we've got dragged into a relegation battle, who's really going to dig in and fight? Noble,
Rice, maybe. That's it.
Can you imagine £45 million Sebastian Haller getting stuck in a relegation battle? It'd literally be thinking, I'll be away in the summer anyway. Yeah, I'll be gone in the summer. So
it's very worrying if we don't turn it around in the next 4 to 5 games. It's really worrying. On that, just very quickly, I don't know if you see it, mate. Did you see Barcelona's formation last night at all?
No, I didn't know.
They played 1-2-1 and like 6 up top.
And what was the score? They lost, didn't they?
0-0.
Oh, it's 0-0.
Yeah.
6 up top, and they still drew.
They played Piqué as centre-back, and then I think it was like Busquets, Rakitic. In the fullbacks like Roberto, Jordi Alba, Messi, Suarez, blah, 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 all up top, the 6. They knew Slavia Prague were going to sit back, so they've supposed to counter it with 1 at the back.
They got spanked at the weekend, though, didn't they? By Levante, I think, beat them at the weekend. It's a weird, it's that's crazy. That is. I wouldn't mind seeing us play a formation like that. It'd just be something different.
Yeah. Okay, let's go through some of the questions now. So, Lee Beard, what do you think about Chris Hughton, another big West Ham fan, as a possible replacement for Pellegrini? Doesn't inspire me. Doesn't inspire me. I think that's what I'll use. I'll use those words. I'm not going to say he's a bad manager.
His name's been thrown about a lot because obviously of the West Ham connection. I don't know, like you say, mate. Yeah, it doesn't inspire. He's on the same kind of level for me as your Pardew's. Do you know what I mean? Just a meh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Meh. That player. Yeah. Trevor, do you think Pellegrini has lost the dressing room, or is he just too soft on his players? I don't think he's lost them yet.
No.
I don't think he's lost them yet. But yeah, maybe. I can't imagine he goes in there. Edra. I can't imagine.
I think Bilic was different. I think Bilic was trying to be the player's mate.
Yeah.
And Pellegrini, I don't think it's like that. He's just a more quiet, more reserved person. I think he could do with losing his temper and shouting a bit. But you can see if the West Ham fans can see that his tactics and his formation's not working, the players are going to start picking up on that as well. We've already said, how many times have we said in the last couple of weeks about Allaire looks like he's thinking, God, what have I done? So again, this is what I keep saying. He needs to turn it around very, very quickly, or he will lose. I think he's already started losing the fans, and he will lose the players as well.
Funny. Just a quick one. So, John, I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that. Frusciante. Are you out? As I say, I'm very 50-50 at the minute. I'm not yet. But if we back him, he needs to be given money in January. If we don't back him, he needs to go. We can't have another Slav situation, or even to a certain extent a David Moyes situation, where we're going to get rid of him, so we're not going to spend our money, and then we risk getting relegated. We cannot have that again. It's happened too many times.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, like we said earlier on, not Pellegrini out yet, but if he don't turn it around very, very quickly, it's going to be too far gone.
Greg Hoosie, picture. I'm behind on the stream, guys. Who you see best fit for our midfield three? For me, it's Rice, Snodgrass, Lanzini, right up with Haller. He did with Anatovic under Moyes. Yeah, I do love Snoddy. I've got to say, I'm a big fan of Snoddy. And if anyone deserves their place in midfield at the minute, it's that man, and it's Snoddy. Like I say, I think Lanzini needs a chance to play himself out of this little bit of bad form he's in, or sort of, I don't know what you would call it. Yeah, what about you, mate?
Yeah, for me, obviously Rice is a no-brainer. I would play Rice and Noble next to each other, and Lanzini in front of them. For some reason, he keeps playing Lanzini behind Noble. For some reason, Noble seems to be our attacking midfielder. I don't understand it. He's not that player. He's never been that player. You need to have Rice winning the ball, breaking up the attacks. Noble has got a pass on him. Noble picking out the passes, and Lanzini getting up to support Allaire. That's the three I would play. I would play Rice, Noble, Lanzini in front, and I would have Rice and Noble under instruction to sit and just hold that halfway line. Rice can drop back into the defence if needed. Because I think the players, again, I say this every single week. I say this every week. The players are being played all over the place. They're being played out of position. I don't know why Lanzini's so deep. I don't know why Noble's so far forward. I don't know why Fornals keeps coming on the wing. I don't know. The formations are all over the gaff. But yeah, that would be my...
Would you be tempted to drop Anderson and put Masuaku left wing?
No, I wouldn't drop Anderson. No, if we were going to move Anderson inside, then yeah, I would play Masuaku on the wing. I think Masuaku would be a good winger.
I think it'd be a very good winger. Yeah. Just some of the comments here. They're not so much questions, just comments. There was a reason he was in China. He was past it for me. He predicts between 10th and 14th. We do have a lot of average players. Taskmaster says stubborn is okay when you're the manager that inherits world-class players at City and Madrid. It's not so good. He's Stratford. Okay, one little last thing I sort of wanted to talk about, mate. So Sam Allardyce came out, didn't he? I don't know if you see it, about Vardy saying that his first season at West Ham he was offered Vardy for 1 million. And David Sullivan basically didn't give him the money because he said if he's not going to be in your first team, we couldn't have him. So I thought it'd be a little bit of fun other than keep moaning all the time. Can we make a sort of close as we can, maybe struggle a little bit with certain positions, but you think of some of the best players we have missed out on in the past. Vardy's, he's well up there. Obviously, the biggest one that sticks out is Neymar.
Well, yeah, obviously, yeah. Neymar, imagine that. Neymar, Vardy.
Another huge player we missed out on as well is apparently Kante. We could have had. I believe he said he could have had him for 600,000.
Redknapp's big one was Shevchenko, wasn't it?
Yep, Andrei Shevchenko apparently training with us at one point. And just, I don't fancy him.
What about? I mean, none spring to mind. What about defenders that we've missed out on? None really jump. I can't think of any that spring to mind.
I might do some research on this actually.
Yeah, do some research on this
because it'd be a good topic to cover next week. If you guys have any players that you can remember that we've missed out on in the past, like real stars, please let us know. Just quickly, mate, any other news you'd like to discuss? We've got about 5 minutes left of the show. So, obviously, this week, Logan Paul versus KSI. I suppose if you want to talk about some other sporty news.
What I'm actually interested.
What, to see KSI get knocked out?
Yeah, the guys in all you guys in the comments stuff watching, I'm really interested. What do you think about this whole thing? I was texting Luke earlier. I've been watching a bit of the build up. I find it quite interesting. I can't stand either of them. I think they're a couple of twats, but I've been quite interested in watching it, and I watched a bit of the sort of open workouts earlier on, and these guys are just massively deluded. Like, it's insane. They think they're actual professional fighters. They think they're actual professional boxers now. It's madness. I mean, for once, and I said this before as well. I'll
give them credit that they got balls. Anyone who steps into a ring, especially without head guards, has got balls. It don't matter how much you're getting paid, you're still going to get hit in the face. You're still going to get punched up. Tony Nelson made a good point now. He goes, listen, these will come out with a game plan and then they'll get spanked in the face. I think, no, actually, I know it was Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn says, like Mike Tyson said, everyone's got a game plan until you get punched in the nose. Because I can just see the KSI or Logan Paul landing a punch and it's just going to be like swinging left and right, like without any actual composure or technique.
Yeah, it's madness. And the whole, Eddie Hearn obviously is money signs, but it's a joke. So I just see the comment from Noah there. It's good for the sport in terms of giving it exposure, and we'll get a lot of new boxing fans for the future. I don't know. I think that's why they've got Billy Joe on the undercard.
Which is ridiculous. One of Britain's best boxers.
It is ridiculous, but I get it. They want these YouTube kids to see an actual professional.
Well, they know by having KSI and Logan Paul on that card through the YouTube stream, at least 20 million views.
Oh yeah, it'll do massive money. As far as bringing new fans into the sport, I don't know. I don't think it really will, to be honest. I don't think these kids are that interested in the actual boxing side of it. It's all going to be, they're just watching it because they want to watch their I don't even know what you call them, their idols or whatever. They just want to see them.
Did you see that? Did you see that actually?
This is what I mean. Like I said, at the open workout, you had Logan Paul come out and he said Billy Joe Saunders must have slagged him off or something in the press. He called him the walking mouth or something. And Logan Paul went up to him and went, "Oh, you called me this?" And Billy Joe was like, "Yeah, I did say that." And it's like, are you genuinely, like, you've been training for 14 months? Do you generally think that you can fight an actual world champion boxer?
Yeah.
Are you insane?
Amazing boxer as well.
Like these like it's not just a professional, an actual champion, world champion. Like these people,
undefeated.
Yeah, these people are absolutely massively deluded. But listen, do you know what? See the amount of money they're making. If I could do it, I would as well.
Oh, of course. Right, 2 questions in the chat, and then that will be it. So, where do we need to strengthen most in January? For me, it's a box-to-box midfielder and another striker. No idea who, as the board won't give him much money. Yeah, box-to-box midfielder and a striker for me. I've been saying that for a few weeks now. We need a destroyer. I keep saying Decore and all stuff like that. Well, some great names in there.
Just a comment there.
Sorry, Greg, if we were answering your question, but some fantastic names. I am going to put that up in a minute.
100%. Box to box midfield again, 100%, and a striker. That's the big problem. Is the ball won't give Pellegrini much. Won't give him anything.
Yeah, and who as well? Should we play 3 at the back and bring Ogbonna back? There's an argument for it. There is an argument for it.
There is an argument for it. Balbuena, Diop, Ogbonna. Fredericks and Masuaku as wing backs, it could be great. It could be great. I don't think Pellegrini's ever going to do it.
I think Anderson could play wing back. He does his defensive duties. I think he could play left wing back.
Yeah. I don't think we'll ever see it though. Well, not under Pellegrini. I don't think he's ever played a back three. So it won't happen. But yeah, I think it would be an interesting formation. I would like to see it, but I don't think he'll ever do it.
Harry here, just the last little comment. So the thing we was just discussing in terms of we're going to do some research, me and we'll try and make a starting 11. So he says, remember being linked with the likes of Tistu. Don't know how I got that name wrong because that guy's one of my favourite players of all time. Figo, and so we nearly signed Adebayor before he signed Faster. Yeah, Gabriel Batistuta, what a player he was.
Unbelievable. Imagine if we'd have got Batistuta. Amazing.
Oh my God. Hey, hardest side foot in the world.
Figo, incredible player that I always, and he was linked. I don't think he was ever seriously going to come, but he was linked to us a few times, mainly through the Di Canio link. Del Piero, my favorite player of all time. There was at the end of his career, there were lots of before he went to Australia, there were lots of things about him coming to West Ham. Oh my God. That would have been madness. That would have been absolute madness. Gigi Buffon, obviously, talked about West Ham. Man, there's some big names that we could have seen. Imagine if we'd have seen these players in the claret and blue.
What's this topic? Do you guys hear and permanently from FIFA Gaming joke EA?
Yeah, I don't know if you'll know anything about this, Luke, but so basically this guy Kurt, right, who's a streamer and a pro FIFA player, basically all he did was slag off EA and talk about how rubbish FIFA is. Yeah, and he really laid into him, and apparently he insulted some of the people who work at EA or something, but basically just laid into the game about how rubbish it is and this crap. And EA turned around and went, well, that's it. You're banned from all our tournaments. You can't play our tournaments anymore.
And he's like a millionaire from it already, is he?
For EA are just scumbags, mate.
Oh, they are, mate. Yeah. Right. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. Thousands of comments today. A bit of an oversaturation, thousands of comments, but really great to have. I wish there was thousands. But listen, every comment in our chat is loved, and we try our best to put all of them on as we go along. Listen, guys, I hope we come back with a video saying we've beat Burnley and, we're all a bit happier. But listen, if it all goes good all the time, we wouldn't have too much to talk about, would we? So it's nice to have a bit of something to talk about. Until then, guys, come on your minds, keep believing. Let's go.
Cheers.